actually going to be a thing today. So we're going to do it on Instagram, and it's recording live on YouTube. So if you got to this on YouTube and you were watching me obviously try to do something with my computer to try to set it up on Facebook, just skip that part. And let's get started. So what you'll want today is probably a strap, because we're going to bring shin bound half lotus into this practice, not a cat toy. But are we doing anything with this today? Not necessarily. I don't think we actually need the rolled up prop, but I always recommend 1 or 2 blocks. So if you have those nearby or need to go get them, please do. And grab a blanket or a pillow to sit up so you can lift above the line of the hips. So yeah, there we are. We're going to be working on building on a class that I taught last night, which we did when we did head to ankle stages 1, 2, and 3. So if you want more, a different kind of warm up for that pose than the standing pose series that'll be part of today's class, then go and look at last night's class. It uploaded to YouTube, and it's on my feed on my Facebook. All right. I'm really excited to teach this class because tomorrow, I don't know that I'll get to the pigeon that I want to do, but we're working toward flying pigeon, and we'll probably explore that during the course of the beginning of the week. All right, let's come into either, well, you have some choices. Come into either knee pile or half knee pile. So in doing that, for half knee pile, you can extend right leg forward, cross the left thigh over the right. If you want to do full knee pile, just bend the bottom knee. And we'll actually work in alternate nostril breath today. If none of these actually works for your legs, sit in Baddha Konasana with the soles of the feet together. Heels a little further away from the groin. And I said left leg, didn't I? So let's do the left leg. Press the left knee on top of the right thigh. Bottom leg is bent or not. And let's work alternate nostril breath, taking the right hand to the index and middle finger. Right hand, index and middle finger at brow point. Close left nostril with the ring finger. Keeping the right side open. Have the thumb just hovering over that side. Exhale if you need to. And then inhale through just the right side. Close right side, lift ring finger, exhale left. Inhale left side. Close left side, exhale right. Inhale right side. Close right side, exhale left. Inhale left side. Close left side and exhale right. Release the hand and take a free breath in and out. Relax the shoulders. Begin to create a firm and complete base for the body by activating the feet, spreading the toes. Exhale completely and unwind your legs. Let's change sides and change hands. We'll still work with alternate nostril breath, but this time we'll move left to right. So pick up the left hand, bring index and middle finger to the brow point, spread the toes. Close right nostril with ring finger. Exhale through the left side, if you need to. And then when you're ready, inhale through the left side. Close both sides and hold. And exhale right. Inhale, right side. Close both sides. Exhale, left. Inhale through the left side. Close both sides. Exhale, right. Inhale, right side. Close both sides and exhale, left. Release the arm and just breathe freely again through both sides. And feel in your body where you feel the most like yourself. The spot in your body that feels like home. And as we work through today's practice, continue to love and care for and breathe and practice in a way that keeps that spot protected in your body. The place that feels like home, the place where you feel like, you can be yourself. All colors. Unwind the legs. And let's come to the other side. I'm going to actually not come to the other side. I bring the sole of the left foot to the floor. Grab your strap, and mine's still looped up from a previous practice, but you don't have to have yours like that. And take that strap around the back of the body. We'll work Marichyasana, which is basically an interlock forward fold. Activate both feet, spreading toes. Activate hands and take a deep breath in, reaching left arm up. Exhale, bring the left arm inside right leg, left arm inside left leg, and then turn the arm enough to get your arm and shoulder wrapped around the front of the shin. Push the shin into the arm. Now you're already in a forward bend here. So grab the strap, opposite ends with both hands. And this might be your fold. Feel for breathing into that spot in your body that feels like comfort food, right? Like that comfortable place that you love. And if you have further to go with this, by the way, you can bring the arms around the back and clasp both hands. But if that just brought you to a place that you don't love, go back to the other place, the other stage. Because a big part of being in a place that we love is being able to breathe freely. So take one more deep breath wherever you decide it is the place where you feel the most free. Inhale to come up. It's a pretty deep bend. So let's move into a twist. Inhale, reach up through the right arm. And then exhale, bring the right arm around the front of the left shin, now sitting up tall. Noticing that the freedom and the space to breathe might be more available here, especially in that homey place in the body. So feel for the relief that that gives you. This is how we begin to cultivate taking good care of ourselves no matter what tiny situation we find ourselves in. And as we breathe in, it helps us to know how to gracefully remove ourselves out, or not so gracefully. Depends, right? Inhale, come back to center. Let's come into shin bound half lotus. Right leg stays long. Bring the ankle of the left foot to that thigh. Take your strap around the left knee and bring now both ends of the strap to the left side of the body. Both feet are active. If you have further to go, you can bend the bottom knee. But remember, you're taking care of yourself as your own home. Inhale, reach up through the right arm. And exhale, bring the right arm behind the back to grab the strap, turning towards the left. Settle down through the pelvis, tailbone becomes long. Take one more deep breath here. And then inhale on your next round to come forward. Come back in a knee pile or half knee pile. You can extend the bottom leg. Bring the arms out to the sides in a T position and inhale. Draw the right elbow on top of the left or forearm press if you have a shoulder injury. Working with a single back to palms together wrap or double for eagle arms. Draw the elbows up slightly as you inhale. Spread the fingers on both hands and then exhale into a forward fold. Neck relaxed. Stretching the breath through the low, the mid to upper back. Take one more homey, comfortable breath here in this very windy fold. Exhale completely. Unwind the arms and inhale to sit up. All right, let me see if I can, just have to find it here. No big deal. All right, so let's do the other side. Extend the left leg forward, bring the sole of the right foot to the floor. Bring the strap behind the body so both ends are alongside the body. Inhale, reach up through the right arm. And then exhale, draw the right arm inside the right knee. And then turn the arm so you can get a hold of that strap. Take the left hand but just to the side of the waist to grab the other end and push the shin lightly into the forearm. Tuck the chin and take a deep breath in. Exhale, settle down through the pelvis, down through the right foot. And lengthen the tailbone to the floor. Feel for breathing deeply. For literally grounding all parts of yourself in this shape and committing back to that place that you feel like home in your body. So it's kind of almost like selecting something you like about your body. That's kind of a minefield though sometimes for some of us, right? So maybe you like your eyes. Maybe it's your eyes you protect as you breathe in. And even if you go deeper, you're protecting your eyes. So sometimes when we get into these poses, our eyes get hard and we're thinking a lot about the pose. Feel for breathing and softening. So that the eyes soften and you're in a place of feeling rather than thinking. Inhale to unwind. Cross right ankle on top of left thigh. Left leg can stay long or bend the knee. Take the strap and place it around the right knee and shin. Bring the strap, both ends of it along the right side of the body. Bring the left hand behind to grab a hold of that strap. If that's not possible for you, you can always use the hand on the hip or bring the hand to grab onto your clothes. Inhale, reach the left arm up to get there, getting long to the side of the waist, and then come around for whatever grab you're working and turn away from that leg. Turn away from that grab. Actually, we're turning towards the grab today. Let the shoulders relax. And the breath widen through the body. Widen the breath through your spine. And then inhale, come back to center. You can come into knee pile from here with the right leg on top or extend the left leg long. And we'll eagle arms through both arms, reach out in a T position. And then exhale, bring left elbow inside the knee, inside the elbow, or forearm press, single or double wrap. Lift elbows up. Relax the neck. Coming as far forward into the fold as feels compassionate, loving to your spot. One more deep breath in. Complete the exhale. And then to come out of the pose, unwind the arms and sit up. And let's come onto the back for star spiral pulse. So come onto your back. So again, I apologize for the technical difficulties we've had today with Facebook, but I won't pursue that anymore. And for anybody, who I'll make sure I edit the video here on YouTube. So if you come back and do this on Instagram, I definitely focus you towards the YouTube channel where I will edit out any of the big pauses that we had to deal with in order to, deal with that issue. But we won't work with that, and I'll post on the Facebook later so you can get to that YouTube channel and this particular video, all right? So coming into star spiral pulse, I love this abdominal. It really helps to open up the hips and continue what we've been doing. In star spiral pulse, there's a juicing action of the thigh, and I'll show that to you now. I'll even cue to bring the hands to the thigh in order to understand what this very subtle abdominal and hip opener is. Real deep, low belly, low back opener. So there's this inward rotation of the thigh that happens. So you're kind of, juicing the thigh inward. So I'll have you take one hand and do that now, in fact, if you like, take one hand to the back of the thigh, one hand to the front of the thigh. I've got my right hand in the back, all right? And then there's this inward rotation of the thigh bone that works and spirals up the leg as you do the movement. Now in the movement, it's tempting to lift the hip off the floor. You see that I'm exaggerating that. But in this movement, the idea is to maintain contact with the floor through the pelvis, staying stable there in order to open up and juice open that hip. We'll do both sides, and we'll do a variation on a theme for lots of different body situations. So we'll start with cactus arms. If you know this one and want to work in the full version, then you know it, and I don't need to tell you what to do. But we'll get there. We'll catch up with you. So for those of us who want to work in a different kind of version, bring up your hands, your arms to the floor in a cactus 90-degree elbow bend position. Palms face ceiling. Feet stay on the floor for this first version. Take a deep breath in. Hold the breath, press low back into the floor. Exhale, reach right leg straight up to the floor. Take hands onto thigh. Pause, take a deep breath here. Breathe and extend forward through the leg and up. And then exhale, pull the belly down and begin to juice the thigh. Again, keep it up the thigh. The foot will sort of subtly move along by itself. Keep the low belly down. Inhale, bring foot back to floor, arms back to cactus. Hold the breath, press low back into the floor. Exhale, lengthen left leg straight up. Take left hand to the back of thigh, right hand to the front of thigh. Pull low belly down. Inhale into that hip. Push the thigh forward and up. And then exhale, begin to juice and inwardly rotate that thigh to loosen up the quad, to open up the hip. Inhale, come back to center, foot on the floor, cactus arms. Hold the breath, press low back into the floor. Exhale, reach right leg straight up to ceiling. Pull the low belly down. Take right hand to the back of thigh, left hand to the front of thigh, and begin that juicing as you exhale. Pulling low belly down to keep the pelvis glued to the floor. Inhale, bring the foot back to the floor, cactus arms. Hold the breath, press low back down. Activate the feet. Exhale, extend the left leg straight up. Bring left hand to back of thigh, right hand to front of thigh. Pull low belly down. And pause, take your breath in. And then exhale, begin to juice the thigh, bringing out tension. Soften the back, soften the shoulders. All right, we're gonna go further with this. You can continue working with the hands. You can continue working with the arms. You pick. Interlace the hands at the base of the skull. If you wanna work the shoulders up this time without the hands. Take a deep breath in. Hold the breath, press low back into the floor. Exhale, reach left leg up, lift shoulders up, turn elbows right, pull low belly down. Take a deep breath into the low back. Exhale, juice the thigh. If you need to bring your hands to your thigh to get a better literal grip on that, go for it. Inhale, foot to the floor. Shoulders can stay up or you can lower them. Actually lower them. This will be a stage 2. Hold the breath, press low back into the floor. Exhale, reach left leg straight up, lift shoulders up, turn elbows right, pull low belly down. Take a deep breath into the low back. Exhale, begin to juice the thigh. Pull the low belly to the floor. Inhale, leg to the floor, shoulders down. So that's a stage 2 option. If you have further to go, keeping the shoulders up for the next 2 rounds. Inhale, pick feet up as well. Lift shoulders up. Push low back into the floor wherever you're practicing. Exhale, reach left leg to ceiling, pull low belly down, juice the thigh. Juice, juice, juice. Inhale, knees back to center, shoulders center. Hold the breath, press the low back into the floor. Exhale, reach left leg to ceiling, turn elbows right. Pull the low belly down and juice the thigh. Pull the belly down again. Inhale, back to center. Hold the breath, press low back into the floor. Exhale, reach right leg to ceiling, elbows turn left if they're lifted. Pull the low belly down. Pull it down again. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath, press low back into the floor. Exhale, reach left leg to ceiling, turn elbows right. Begin to juice the thigh, pulling the low belly down. Pull the low belly down again. Keep juicing that thigh. Inhale, knees center, elbows center, lower shoulders, lower feet. Take a deep breath in. Exhale completely. How does that feel? It should be a really good sensation, a little bit of a hip and buttock opener, and to wake things up a little bit. So now we'll work with frog lifting through. You don't need a block or anything for this, but again, I'll show you some variations. We'll work on rolling the edges of the feet open, and then we'll work with knees up, shoulders up. So start with feet on the floor, right at hip distance. Arms in cactus position. Take a deep breath in. Hold the breath, press low back into the floor. Exhale, roll on the edges of your feet to widen the knees. Pull the low belly down. Spread the toes. Inhale, bring knees back to center. Hold the breath, stay active in the feet. Push low back into the floor. Exhale, open the knees wide. Roll on the edges of the feet. Push the edges of the feet down as you pull the low belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath. Press low back into the floor. Exhale, open the knees. Push the edges of the feet against the floor. Curl the tailbone up, pulling low belly down. If you have further to go with this, kick the feet up, knees bent at 90 degrees, and then open the knees wide. Toes out to the sides. You can stay with cactus position or work with the shoulders up. Take a deep breath in, lift shoulders up. Exhale, curl the pubic bone up, pull the low belly down and reach out through your feet. Inhale, breathe into the low back, spread it into the ground, press it down. Exhale, curl the pubic bone up, pull the low belly down, lengthen out from your buttocks. Pull the front ribs into the body. Push out through the feet. Inhale, breathe into the low back. This is a good one to push your feet on the wall, by the way. Exhale, curl the tailbone up, pull the low belly down. Push out through feet, spread the toes. Take a deep breath in, widen through the rib cage. Exhale, curl the tailbone up, pull the low belly down, stretch through open toes. Inhale, lower the shoulders if they're lifted. Bring legs back together. And just pause, take a minute and breathe into the spot in your body that is home to you. Is what you're doing and how you're practicing enhancing how that feels? Continue to go for that. Let's come up. Let's do bridge pose. You don't need your block today, but if you feel like you might, go ahead and grab that and grab your sturdiest version of a block that you possibly can. Bring heels to the floor, toes spread, arms at the sides, palms up, and take a deep breath in. Exhale, push down through the heels and feel the pubic bone curl forward. This is the action of bridge where you can practice if you wish. Shoulders down, hips down, legs strong and active. If you have further to go, Everybody take a deep breath in. And on exhale, push down through the heels to lift the pelvis up. And if you need a block, place it on whatever is the highest side you can tolerate with ease. Right? Tolerate is not a term I'm using that makes you work too much at your edge. But bring it to the place where you can practice with ease underneath the sacrum. I've got my high side. I'm not going to practice with the block today, though. You guys, if you need to, though, feel free to use that prop. But for those of us who are lifted, feel for letting the pelvis settle on that imaginary block. And if you're using one, you've got it there for that support. Let it get a little heavy so the legs turn on, thigh bones lengthen. Heels push into the floor. Stay strong and steady with the breath. The reason yoga is a practice and a discipline is it teaches us to put ourselves in shapes that we are asked to hold and maintain. That comfortable, easy breath that you would do, you're most comfortable at home. And if you can't do that in the way that I'm asking you to do these poses, find the way that does work for you to feel at home. So come out of the pose, keep pushing down through the legs, and keep lengthening the spine towards the heels, lowering all the way down. Roll over to your side and let's practice dolphin. Push into the floor to sit up and use your hands to pick up one side of your hand to pick up your head. We'll work with dolphin palms up today. So you might want to use your block for that as well. Make sure that you have it nearby. So bring your knees to the blanket right underneath your hips. And if you need to, slide your sleeves up so elbows can completely contact the floor. Right under shoulders. Knees under hips, toes curled under. Relax the neck. Grab upper arms with opposite hands to measure the distance and bring your elbows closer if that grab is not really a full grab around that upper arm. Swivel the hands forward to a clasp if you're working with a shoulder injury or you're not real sure about your upper body strength. You can separate the palms if you feel free for that. Fingers outstretched. Neck relaxed. Take a deep breath into upper back. Exhale, draw the shoulder heads back, push the forearms down and push the toes against the floor. Palms push, toes push. This might be enough for you. It might be enough because you tend to feel a lot of tension in the shoulders. And if you go any further, it's going to take you out of that comfort zone. We want you to practice in your comfort zone today. So if you do have further to go, straighten the legs, lift the hips. Come into full dolphin. Breathing so well and clear that the ribs fill and broaden and lift away from the shoulders. And that's in either version. Keep the neck relaxed. Stretch the breath through the upper back. Draw the shoulder heads back. And push forearms into the floor. One more breath. To come out of the pose, lower the knees down if they are lifted. I'm going to clip my hair up so you can see a little more of my face. All right. So let's come into dolphin with palms up. Here's where you might want to use your block. And by the by, you could have used it with the palms down, like this. This is one of my favorite moves. If you want to use your block here, though, it's a good idea. You can push your pinky edges of your hands against the floor. Fingernails are on the floor. Thumbs outstretched. Neck relaxed. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, squeeze the hands against the block and push the toes against the floor. This may be where your comfort zone is. But if you have further to go, straighten the legs, lift the hips, keep squeezing on the block. And after a breath or two with these down, you may feel like lifting up. So we'll hold here and allow you to explore your comfort zone. To get comfortable and then maybe branch out a little bit. Take one more deep breath through the upper back. Exhale, squeeze on the block, lengthen back through the legs. And then lower to the knees. Turn to the tops of the toes, bring your block back and rest your forehead on the block. Arms at the sides, palms up. Soften the breath and your spot. Lengthen the breath through your spot. And then inhale to come up. All right, we're going to work with Agnisara in horse stance and then be working towards our sun salutations. We'll also do horse with a twist. So I'll let the Instagram stay on for a little while, and then when we get to the sun salutations, I'll switch it to the classic suns, and then we'll be doing a standing pose series. So coming into Agnisara and horse. By the way, and I'll continue giving these cues. There's a variety of people doing these, and I also encourage you. It's not a matter of whether or not you can do the poses in their fullest expression. It's a matter of giving you options to explore different ways of doing the pose, especially if you're used to doing them in a particular way. So I invite you to try out some of these other modifications in order to do exactly what I just said, which was, find where your comfort zone is and then, maybe branch out and see how that affects your ability to be comfortable or creates a new level of comfort. So chair pose is a modification for horse, chair pose at the wall. And I like to use a block between the shins in order to keep stability through the legs. Now, in the chair pose, thighs are parallel to the floor. Back is pressed against the floor, which is why I took my clip out. I can't clip it up and have my head against the wall as well. You can also do this in horse stance at the wall. Obviously not with the block, but toes forward, tailbone tucked. And again, thighs are parallel with the floor. Back is on the wall, head is on the wall, creating a tailbone tuck. And then the other way to do it is in space. Just standing, on your mat. And by the way, I would bring your mat to the wall for stability through the legs. So coming into it in space would be here, right? So in any of these versions, and I'll show it to you, actually I'll do horse stance at the wall for the version of Agnisara. You can also do the twists here. And if you're doing chair pose at the wall, when we come to the twists, actually you'll be doing it, and I'll show you. Well, actually, we'll do chair pose at the wall. I hate that pose, but we're going to do it today. All right. So I'm going to do Agnisara. I'll do it at the wall first, and then I'll do it in space. All right. So in the wall version, back is on the wall. Feet are pushing firmly down into the floor through the heels. Traction the thighs with hands on thighs. Agnisar is a variation of Uddiyana. In Uddiyana, means the belly flies up. You take a deep breath in. Hold the breath, tuck the chin. Exhale out through the mouth. Pulling the belly back and forth. So you might like the wall because you get instant feedback. All right, it's a little harder to do it in space. But just because it's harder doesn't mean it's better, especially if you're not getting the kind of access and that kind of feedback and that sense of connection at home in your body. So come into the version that's right for you. I'll do it in space. And again, you can lift your shirt to observe what's going on in the belly. Because there's a chin tuck, you can really get a good view. So take a deep breath in. Get thighs parallel with the ground. Exhale out. Keep the breath out. Pulling low belly back to spine. All right, so let's do it again. 2 more like that. Take a deep breath in. Stay active in the feet, pressing down through the heels. Particularly exhale out. Move the belly back and forth. Take 1 more deep breath in. Exhale out. Agnisar. Go fast. Inhale. Stretch out through the legs. Heel toe your feet together. And let's work chair twist up the wall. Again, this is a pose that I do not love, but it's one where I'll cue the forest yoga moves because it helps me work with it and stay connected at home in my body. All right? So coming into chair pose at the wall, the stance is a forearms distance away from the wall. So the way to determine that is to take your elbow to the hip and place your palm flat on the wall. So I stay connected to my hip, and that's the move, is a little wrenching back of the wrist. Bring the feet to touch or a little bit of a hip distance stance if you need better stability. Coming into chair twist up the wall, inhale, sit down into your chair and let the left arm slide up. Exhale, bring the right hand on the wall. Push into the wall with both palms evenly. Draw the inner elbows together. And here's where those forest yoga basic moves help a lot. Take a deep breath, telescope the ribs. Exhale, wrap the shoulders, tuck the tailbone, push down through active feet. Let's do 1 more like that. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, wrap the shoulders, tuck the tailbone, push down through active feet. Inhale to straighten up through the legs. Like I said, it's kind of a doozy. Let's do the other side. But it really helps me balance out the imbalances in my body and my spine. And when I'm in alignment like that, you feel like home. So let's come to the other side. Bring your right elbow to your waist. Right hand on the wall. Fingertips pointing straight up. And then sink into your chair pose. Slide the right hand up and bring the left hand across the body to also press the wall. And take a deep breath in. Exhale, wrap the shoulders, tuck the tailbone, push down through active feet. Can you push both hands evenly into the wall? Might be different on this side. Take a deep breath in. Telescope the ribs very wide. Exhale, wrap the shoulders, tuck the tailbone, push down through active feet. Deep breath in. Exhale, wrap the shoulders, tuck the tailbone, push down through active feet. Inhale to stand up. All right, we'll do some classic suns in the next series. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the Instagram, and then we'll come back into that, and then we'll follow up with the standing pose series. And All right. All right, so let's start with the standing pose series. Actually, no, not standing pose series, classic suns. In the sun salutations, and I will bring this to you. Make sure that you know to do this, know that you can do sun salutations without doing the vinyasas, which are those belly down, back bend kind of things, like all the cobras and things like that. You don't have to do those harsh portions if that doesn't suit your mobility or your ability in terms of any kind of back injuries, especially if you're doing these practices at home. All of these practices that we're doing online now that we're a virtual world, are done at your own will, and you should get the go-ahead from a medical practitioner, and understand that you are practicing within your own limits and you're in charge of your own practice. We're here to give you guidance, but we can't do the kinds of corrections that we would be able to if we were together, right? But even so, even if that was your arena, the same thing applies. So take care of yourself. Let's come into a sun salutations and know that any of the lunges can be done by simply stepping back with one foot to either a heel down warrior one or a heel up warrior one version. Arms can be up, the shoulders or the hips if you have shoulder issues. And you can just step forward into these poses. The forward bends would be the same, etc. If you want to follow along and do those, I'll also give some modifications for the vinyasa portions, and that way you can also continue to practice with modifications, and again, within your mobility limits. So come to a hip distance standing position or bring big toes to touch. And bring hands to heart center. Allow your gaze to just rest on the floor in front of you, whatever is your home space. And take a deep breath in. Widening through the ribs. And then exhale, draw the shoulder heads back, shoulder blades down. Tuck the tailbone and push down through active. Inhale, reach the arms up if you like. Palms face in. Hands can stay on hips. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, step the left leg back for a low lunge. Pad the knee by flipping the mat over and lower the knee. Knee can stay up as I earlier demoed. Pause. Decide here. Inhale, coming up with hands on hips, or go for a full reach through the arms. Take a deep breath in. You can also have hands on blocks. Exhale, push down through active feet. Inhale, bring the hands down to the floor. Curl the toes under and come into a tabletop position. So here's a modification for plank. Take a deep breath in. If you have further to go, lift the knees, straighten the legs, reach strongly through both heels. Strongly down through palms. As you exhale, lower the knees to the floor if they are lifted. Squeeze the elbows against the body and come all the way to the floor. Straighten the legs, point the toes. Cobra pose, inhale. Lengthen through the upper back. Curl the pubic bone against the floor. Exhale, lower down. Curl the back toes under. Pick up to a table position if you'd like. Or go all the way to downward facing dog. You can stay in table as well. Pause. Take a deep breath here. Exhale fully. Inhale, step the left foot forward if you're lowering the knee. Flip the mat over to pad right knee and bring it to the floor. And again, decide, inhale, to come up in the torso. Hands can stay on hips or reach up. Blocks can be under hands as well. Sink in the hips, let that pelvis get heavy, and take another breath in. Exhale, hands come to the floor if they are lifted, and step forward and fold. Relax the neck. Anchor down through the heels and inhale, bring hands to hips, reach up. Stand up, Exhale, hands to heart. We'll do that slowly again with those options. See where you go. Inhale, reach arms up, keep them on the hips. Look up, push down through the heels. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, step the right leg back. Flip the edge of the mat over to pad the knee if that's where you're working. Point the toes for low lunge. Arms can be high or low. Pause, breathe in. One more deep breath. Exhale fully out. Hands come down to the floor. Curl the back toes under, move to tabletop with hands under shoulders, toes curled under. Take one more breath. Maybe go all the way to a plank pose. Squeeze the elbows in now. And on your next exhale, lower the knees and keep the arms squeezing against the body to come to the floor. Straighten the legs, point the toes. Inhale, lengthen through the upper back. So if you're doing this in a standing mountain, if you've stepped forward, you can still lengthen and look up, hands on hips, feet reach down. That's for everybody. Lower down, lower the chin to the chest, going up all the way to downward dog or coming through your table. Staying in table. One more deep breath. Exhale fully out. Inhale, step the right foot forward. For a low lunge, flip left edge of mat. Bring left knee down. Arms are high or low. One more breath. As you exhale, bring hands down if they are lifted. Step forward and fold. Those who are standing can come to that fold now. To come up, inhale, hands on hips or full reach up, look up. Hands to heart, exhale. All right, we'll go through the next few a little more quickly, all right? Go, but remain at your pace. We'll have time to catch up. Inhale, reach up. Go with the modifications that you need to. Forward fold. Inhale, step left leg back, low lunge. Hands to the floor, exhale. Tabletop or plank. Come down to the knees, lower to the floor. Cobra, inhale. Lower down on exhale. Downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward, bring right knee to floor. Reach arms up. Forward fold, exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale to come up. Hands to heart, exhale. Inhale, reach up. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, step the right leg back, knee down, arms up. Hands to the floor, exhale, plank or table. Come down to the knees, or full chaturanga. Breathing in, lift chest, lift upper back for cobra. Lower down, exhale. Downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot forward, bring left knee down, reach up. Exhale, hands to the floor, step forward and fold. Inhale to come up. Hands to heart, exhale. All right, we'll work a standing pose series. So there will be no vinyasas on this one. Let's see where we go. Make sure you have your blocks nearby. Catch a drink of water. Standing pose series can bring up lots of stuff, so stay home in your body. take care of you. Start with warrior two. Step the right foot back, left foot forward. With shoulder shrugs, keep the arms down to the sides and take a deep breath in. Draw the shoulders up, draw them way back, and then exhale, squeeze around the top of the spine and drag the shoulder blades down. Push down through your feet. Inhale, breathe through the upper back. Exhale, squeeze the middle shoulder blades together, drag them down, push down throughout the feet. Inhale, breathe into the bottom part of the rib cage. Exhale, use the arms, squeeze them against the body. Drag the shoulder blades down, the very bottom tips. And then release. Arms down. Extended warrior. Actually, let's do reverse warrior with neck release option. Take right hand onto hip and reach left arm forward. Are there places in your body that you guard fiercely? Don't necessarily feel like home? That you'd like to be more of a home in the body, but it's pretty tightly guarded. You feel a lot of restriction there. Extended warrior variation. Bring left forearm on thigh. Reach right arm behind to grab a piece of the clothes or grab the opposite thigh. So for those of you who have piriformis issues and the warriors are difficult, you can do all of this in straddle, right? So shoulder shrugs, neck release, working a variation, reaching the arm down. Okay, so do it in a straddle, right? And you'll do the other side when we get there. Come out of the pose, inhale, straighten through the front leg, lift up, and bring the back foot in a little closer for triangle pose. Grab your block and place it on the high side inside your left foot, excuse me. And the right arm can stay on the back if you wish. Or if you want a more traditional triangle, reach the right arm straight up. Relax the neck. What else can you relax and make feel more homey in the body? Bend the front knee, half moon pose. Move the block forward and pivot the back heel up. Move left foot out a little wider. And this is where you can stay, hands on the block, strongly pushing back through the back leg. If you have further to go, come up onto the tippy toes, move the block forward, and begin to weight more into the front leg, lifting right thigh up. You can be on the tippy toes and never lift the thigh. For half moon, working with the hand on the hip, the wrap, or the reach. Stay active in that back leg. Reach strongly through that leg in order to keep it reaching. Breathe deeply. Vertical splits. Turn the hips down to the floor again. You can stay with your block and keep that back leg lifting or lower it. Regain your balance and then come into it in a comfortable way, or at the pace that does feel comfortable to you. Strong reach to the back leg. And then release. Lower that back leg, bend the front knee. And let's come into pyramid pose. Bring your block back inside the front foot and lower the back heel to the floor. Push through that heel just as strongly as you were reaching it earlier. Relax. Inhale, lengthen up through the spine. And come into a straddle. Straddle forward fold. Spread the toes. And let's come into a posture called flank stretch. Walk your hands back to grab onto any part of your right leg. It might be below the knee on the calf or above the knee on the thigh, but just not the knee. Have both hands on the leg and lean toward that back leg. Push against the front foot more, that left foot. If you have further to go, you can place the right palm and push it into the floor outside that pinky edge of the foot. Relax the neck. Inhale to unwind. Head to ankle prep. Pivot the front toes forward on the left foot for that warrior two position, or stay in your straddle. You can do this in either version depending on your hip health and low back health. Coming back into more of a warrior two position, place the block down right in line with your chest. Right hand on the block. Left hand on the thigh. Relax the neck. And feel for that friendly, soft way of breathing through the body. Inviting. Coming down to a lower block height. Or maybe no block, placing right hand firmly into the floor. Turn the torso towards the back leg. Relax the neck. Continue to approach these shapes with softness, with ease. Inhale to unwind. So let's do those head to ankle moves as we did in last night's class. Just a little bit of a different approach to it, right? So bring your block on its high side and before you get there, make sure you bring your body into a lunge position with the back knee down. I'll give you some options for those who aren't doing knee down stuff today. But those who are, work with the right angles, left knee directly over ankle, right hip directly over right knee. So if you're here, that's not a right angle, right? You want to be here. You really want to box it up. And yeah, that makes things a little more constricted. So if you're not working with knee down postures today, you'll work with the twist the warriors like I described in last night's class. Working with the block, coming into a twist, right? Coming into a twist, maybe reaching that right arm forward, or maybe even going deeper into the twist with the elbow on top of the thigh or outside the knee. Those will be your options. So it'll be a warrior one with the left foot forward. For those of you who are not doing that, and we'll do 3 breaths in each shape. So for those of you who are doing the warriors, it'll be 3 breaths. One with the block, hands on the block. One with a hand on the block, one hand on the thigh, and then going into your twist. Head to anklers. You can start with your block, back toes are curled under. Bringing the forearms onto the block. You can lower your block to any height or work with no block at all. Forearms press floor like we did in those dolphins. Keep the back toes curling under. You can even take the block and it's more narrow width. Use the block to squeeze the arms so you really are keeping the upper body work in alignment. And a head rest is automatically created for you. Take a deep breath in. If you're going further, moving to a stage 2, and you can do this with the block too. You can bring the forearm parallel with the front of the mat, grab the ankle. Move the left hand outside the right foot. I find stage 2 easier than 1. You might too. And if you're going further, pivot the back heel down, lift the hips immediately, and then maybe bring your head behind your ankle or the back as well. I'm not doing that. That is not in my practice yet. That does not feel like a homey place just yet. Take one more deep breath into what does feel like home for you. Again, approach these shakes with friendly attitude. And then release. Lower the back knee if it is lifted. Unwind your arms. And let's come and join the warriors. So let's work into warrior. Pushing back to the back heel. And let's all reach up into warrior 1. You can keep your hands low on the hips if you like. Push back to the back heel, lengthen through the back thigh to stabilize the shape. And to create ease in the upper body. Twisting warrior, inhale. Bring right forearm onto thigh, make fist. And then cup it with right left palm. Elbow is outside or on top of the knee. So for those of you who did this in the first round, what feels different about this approach? Can you add in that quality of comfort, of ease, of friendliness? Inhale to unwind. Bring the back knee down to the floor. If you're not doing this today, you'll work with that warrior 1, bring the block outside the foot. And let's everybody do that because you'll need it for the next pose. Turn to the tops of the toes and inhale, knee down, people reach up through the right arm. And do that if you're in your warrior 1 shape. And then exhale. Bring the hand to the block if you are in a warrior 1. If you're not, come into a twist like we did. Make a fist, cup it with left palm. Neck relaxed. Coming into either interlock or extended warrior. For those of you with your hand down to the block, you may wish to take your hand to your shoulder or maybe reach the arm over the head. That's you in the warrior 1. If you're working in a twist, you can do the same thing or come into interlock. Bring the right arm underneath the left leg and then wrap around to grab some piece of the clothes. Or maybe you get your hand. Whichever pose you choose, feel for pushing firmly against the feet into the ground. And notice that it is more difficult to find your comfort zone here. Release the hands if you are working there and gently unwind the body. Curl the back toes under if the knee is down. Lift the leg and straighten it for twisting triangle. Straighten the front knee for those who are practicing warrior. Block can be inside or outside the front foot. Right hand on the block. Left hand can stay on hip. Relax the neck. Maybe turn the torso more towards the left, maybe even reach the left arm up. To come out of the pose, bring the hand back to the hip, bend the front knee, bend the bottom knee, and let's work in pigeon. So in pigeon, you can also work in double pigeon if you do not do that other version or the one that we all know. So you can work in a double pigeon, working with your hips up on a blanket. And in this version, the right leg will be on the floor and the left will be on top. You can also do this in a back pose. So I didn't describe these in last night's class, but you can do this all in the back. Again, the left ankle will be on the right. The foot can stay on the floor using thigh traction, or you can bring the thigh closer to the body, or maybe clasp the top of the knee. In all versions, lengthening the tailbone and the buttocks away from the shoulders, feet are active, is the main part of the shape. So feel for that. Even if you decide to do the one I'm showing. So find your way into your pose, sitting up, double pigeon, or on the back, or one leg forward. Use a blanket to pad up your left hip and bring the shin parallel, like I showed you earlier, with the front of the mat. If you bend the back knee, that's fine to get there. If you can straighten the leg, that's also fine. You can start also by staying up, so using your blocks to find that lengthening of the tailbone away from the shoulders. Press the pinky edge of both feet against the mat. And then once you kind of set it up, that gives you an opportunity. Once you've set up your home, that gives you the opportunity to find your way into the shape. Maybe even coming down to the forearms or lowering your block. You can still work with the blocks. We're a full forward fold, but the action is no less in a forward fold as it is in an upright shape. So stay active, pushing the pinky edges of the feet down. Lengthening the tailbones. Breath is strong on the inhale and the exhale. To come out of the pose, if you are folded, push into the hands and gently come out in whatever way works. Let's do it all from the beginning. So come up to a standing position at the top of the mat. We'll work with the warriors first. So coming into warrior 2 or straddle position. All right. Warrior with shoulder shrugs or straddle. Arms at your sides. Take a deep breath in. Hold the breath, draw the shoulders up, draw them way back, and then squeeze around the top of the spine and drag the shoulder blades down. Inhale, breathe into the upper back. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together, drag them down, push down through your heels. Inhale, breathe to the upper back. Exhale, squeeze the arms against the body, drag the shoulder blades down, push down through your feet. Reverse warrior. Take your left hand to your hip. Let's work neck release, reaching the right arm forward today. What can you soften? In order for that neck to release and to feel a lot more friendly. Extended warrior variation. Bring the right forearm on the thigh. Bring left arm behind the back to grab some part of the clothes or maybe the opposite thigh. Same moves in straddle. You'll just lengthen your right arm down. All right, to come out of the pose, unwind the arm from the back. And I'm forgetting, my body remembers a little bit. What did I say next? Oh, triangle pose. So grab your block. Straighten the front leg if it isn't already. We're joining you straddlers here for triangle pose. So place the right hand on the block. Bring left hand on hip, especially if your shoulder injured. You can work the wrap around the waist or reach the arm up. Relax the neck. And let's move into those half moons to vertical splits. Bring the left hand back to the waist. Walk the left foot forward and pivot up on that heel. Walk the right foot wider and then bring both hands to the block, pushing strongly through the ball of the foot to engage that back leg. If you have further to go, come up onto the tippy toes, beginning to shift the weight forward. Maybe even keep reaching with that leg to lift it up and move the block even more forward. Release a hand and open up into half moon. Lots of places to go. Engagement through the back leg. Really keep reaching through that back leg to stabilize the shape. It's not just about the standing leg, is it? And keep reaching through it to come into vertical splits. Pause if you need to and step it down, re-engage. Use the block or hands on the floor. Let go in the neck. And any other place where you would like to let go and make it more comfortable. Right? Like a guest, you say, come on in, make yourselves comfortable. Take one more breath. And then exhale, lower that foot to the floor. Where are we going? I think we're going to pyramid pose. So coming into pyramid pose, bring the block inside the front foot. Relax the neck. Or maybe work with no block. Forward bend over that thigh. Push into the floor. I feel like we missed flank stretch. Did we? Or maybe we're going to do that now. Take one more breath. And then release. Yeah, we are. We're doing it now. I didn't miss it. It's right here. All right, so come into your straddle. Straddle forward fold. This time grabbing a hold of the left ankle, the left calf, left thigh, again, anywhere below, anywhere not the knee.
not the knee. Maybe with one hand, maybe left hand presses the outer edge of left foot into the floor. You're actually on the floor, not the floor. And lean towards that left leg, but push into the right leg a lot. Relax the neck. Take a deeper breath in. I love this pose. And then let that go.
All right, so now coming into head to ankle prep. Coming back into that warrior two position, pivoting the toes to the short end of the mat. Or you can do this in straddle, right? You've got the block down on the floor, centered under the chest. Right hand is on right thigh. Okay, for those of you who are warrior twoing, you're here. Push into the right hand on the thigh. And turn the torso towards the left leg. Maybe no block at all, or working with a lower height, you pick. Relax the neck. Engage the breath. Come out of the pose. Gently unwind, and we'll work with head to ankle. So flip the left edge of the mat over to lower the left knee. Bring right heel directly under the knee. If you're working with the twisting warriors, it's warrior one with the block. Remember? Warrior one, keeping left hand on the block this time, right arm would reach forward, and then maybe to the thigh, maybe with a twist. We're going to get to a twist anyway, so if you want to work with some different versions before we get there, by all means. If you're working with head to ankle, stage one, bring your block on its high side, forearms on the block, back toes curled under. Make 90-degree angles with both knees. Relax the neck. Now, if you have further to go, lowering the block to a different height, or maybe no block at all, forearms on the floor. If you're going to stage two, turn the arms so left forearm becomes parallel. Grab right ankle with left hand and bring right hand to the outside of right foot. Forearm and palm push actively down. Neck is relaxed. Find that breath and sense of home in the body. Stage three, you're lifting the back knee, pivoting the heel down for a warrior two leg. To come out of the pose, if the knee is up, lower it down, and then gently unwind. Warrior one. So those of you in warrior one, we are joining you. So pivot the back heel down, those who are working knee down versions, and reach arms up. Warrior one. Same as in pigeon, feel for lengthening the tailbone to the floor. Because warrior one is essentially pigeon, isn't it? I talked about this in a class I used to teach at a gym here in Maryland. Relax the neck. Lengthen the tailbone. Coming into the twist, make a fist with the left hand. Place forearm on the thigh or elbow outside the knee. And cup it with the right hand. And for those of you who are experiencing this twist again, find that difference in this approach. Inhale, release. Twisting lunge. So I'm actually going to turn my body so you see this from the other side here. So the left knee is down, right foot is forward. Put the block outside the right foot. Now, there's a couple of ways of doing this. You can take your left hand across the body to that block and reach the arm up and over. That's in the second version. We'll work with twisting lunge, make a fist, cup it with right palm, and then we'll get there. Strengthen the breath through the torso, through your homey spots. Continue to come back to the breath, to the body, through the breath. Use it to soften. Invite. To have and to hold. Now, coming into either extended twisting lunge, or you can do this obviously in your warriors, or coming into interlock, sliding the right arm, the left arm around the right thigh and under. Relax the neck. Inhale to unwind. And coming into twisting triangle. We'll work twisting triangle and then we'll work whatever version of pigeon that you want to work today. All right, so pivot the back heel down. Twisting triangle, block is inside or outside the front foot. Left hand on the block, inhale. Reach up through the arm, maybe turning the torso. Keeping the hand low. Relax the neck. Inhale, unwind. All right, come into your version of pigeon. I described them before. This time, your right leg would be on top. If you're coming into the other version with the legs down, you'll be patting up the right hip. All right, so find your comfort zone. Find a place in this pigeon pose that is one that is inviting, one that's soft, one where you want to be. You can stay in the pose. Stay with your breath. Stay with your body. Stay just as alert, but yet comfortable. Inhale to sit up. And here's where I leave you. So come into your Shavasana. You can come into it with your more of a chest opening version. I've described this many times for those of you who know it. You can follow along or flow it off. But for those of you who have never done one of my classes, there's an option to use a prop. I've just grabbed this rolled up mat, place it between the shoulder blades, which is pretty high up on the back. And then I've got a higher prop to hold my head. Knees can stay bent, feet on the floor, or the legs can get long. And if you're using those props when you come out of your Shavasana, be careful because the floor is far away. And you don't have to use any of that. You can do a legs up the wall. There's all kinds of different options. But make sure you take a Shavasana, one that is at least 5 minutes. So set a timer and then enjoy that. So I'll close here and thank you for joining me. And as a reminder, please like, subscribe, share any of my videos to those who you think would need it or want it. I do these classes for free and by donation. Donations are greatly appreciated. But also by sharing and just interacting with me and joining me, those are all ways, for even a portion of the class, are ways to keep the videos, getting them more visible and in the eyes of the people who do need them and accessible without you sharing, which is nice too, right? But if you do want to donate, the donate is through PayPal, paypal.me/Lisa Loring, Lorin as in Nancy, G, wellness, not .ed, it's paypal.me/Lisa Loring wellness.com, ed. PayPal.me/Lisa Loring wellness, ed. That's the PayPal donation. So thank you for those who do donate. It's really lovely and I appreciate it greatly. And we'll be changing up this class schedule a little bit. I'm starting, I've got a lot of chunks of time that I need to be doing some work right now. So, which is a good thing. And it allows me to keep doing what I'm doing. But I will change that schedule up and I will let you know what that will be because it will change in the ensuing 1 and 2 weeks. So thank you very much. I love you. Enjoy the rest of your day and happy Thursday, although I will be teaching tomorrow. We'll talk to you later. Bye. Oh, and by the way, Instagrammers, I forgot to tell you, the videos don't record in their full versions on Instagram, but if you go to YouTube, you'll see the videos there, and I also do them on Facebook Live. All right, I'll see you later. Oh, okay.